going to make up announcements because we don't have them written. So. July coming up. It's right around the corner. There will be a performance by Harry Hart Brown. He will be doing a one-man show here, and it was on the 12th of July. And then at the end of the month, on the 26th, we will have a barbecue.
Summer party.
A summer party barbecue. So, we'll eventually get a sign-up sheet in Chafee Hall so that we can know how many people are coming and how to prepare. So, and does anybody else have something that you would like to announce?
Do we know what the price is gonna be, or does it depend on the caterer slash person who prepares the food?
It is still
Okay,
in the works,
okay,
but probably in our price range of $25 to $30, just depending
sure.
on
I
what's
understand.
going on.
Right.
And
I just wanna start saving now.
yes, we all should start saving now. Hey, $1 a day, it'll get there.
Is it a new presentation that he's presenting, or is it the same one?
I think it's a new, it's the same presentation with added things that he's improved it or whatever. Harry Hart Brown. How many of you saw him before when he was here? He's very good.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be in a Saturday afternoon, I think at 1 or 2 o'clock.
More details when we get official announcements.
Yeah.
Yes, Nancy?
May I make an announcement?
You may.
I'm here asking for help again. The volunteers, next Saturday, we're gonna start at 8 o'clock. We're going to do a big shed clean out. If any of you ever have seen that shed back here where we keep all of our stuff, we need to get rid of stuff, clean up stuff, and get rid of stuff. Mainly get rid of stuff. So if any of you can help in any half an hour even, we'd really appreciate it. We're gonna start at 8 before it gets too hot, and many hands make the job a lot easier.
I'll
So-
volunteer Joe being.
Can I get that in writing?
We'll both be there.
Thank you so much.
Guys, it makes it so much easier, they can lift and carry, thank you.
All right. So now for our meditation music, and so it is. Cecilia. Please sing this with me. God is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it. I let it go. And all it is. And so it is. I know it is. And I receive as I believe. So now is our time for our affirmative prayer. So close your eyes if you'd like, relax, and just take a nice deep breath through the belly and out the nose. And as you take in this breath, know that anything that is unlike the love that you are made of is released in this moment. Any thoughts of limitation, any thoughts of obstacles or problems are released with every exhale. We let it go. And as we inhale, we are inhaling the breath of God, taking that strength, taking that grace, bringing it all within us and knowing our oneness with Spirit and the presence that is right here, right now, everywhere. And as we delve into our feeling of oneness with Spirit, we know this is where we can create our beautiful life. So let's just take a moment and think of what we would like to manifest. And as we take this moment, just know that God is back behind every idea that is in our mind. For our mind is one with the mind of God. As we know our unity, we know that through the grace of God, all comes to us. So let's just take a couple of deep breaths in and out. And we know in this moment that God sees to the heart of us and knows our true desires. And we assure ourselves and we claim fabulous health, warm and loving relationships, abundance and prosperity in all areas and all aspects of our life. For that is our birthright with Spirit. So we accept and we claim all the goodness and more that we know is coming. For as we dwell on the good, more comes to us. As we are grateful for this goodness, more comes to us. So let us open our heart and open our mind, knowing that only goodness can pass before us. Only goodness is on our life's journey. We claim it, we believe it, we know it. And so with a grateful heart and confidence in the law of mind, we know God is in action in our life for our highest and greatest good. So let us together, and so it is. So as FROG is our acronym for this Sunday's talk, the R stands for reliance. So I thought that would be the best place to find something with Ernest Holmes. I didn't think he'd have anything special frogs, but you never know, but I didn't look. So this is on page 322. It goes from 322 to 323. It's a short little paragraph, and it says, one should never allow himself to think of or talk about limitation or poverty. Like a mirror, and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks of it. The more spiritual the thought, the higher its manifestation. Spiritual thought means an absolute belief in and reliance upon truth. This is both natural and normal. So, in this moment when we take our minds and we are using it in a thoughtful manner, in a prayerful manner, in wanting to create that wonderful world that we expect, our mind and the mind of God is one. So we have that deep conviction, that absolute belief and faith in Spirit. It all comes to pass, doesn't it? And there we have it. And so it is.
Thank you, Susan. Yeah, Nancy, thank you, dear.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia.
This is another Legrand music.
got a treat for Cecilia. 2 months, 2 months.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, frog. This has been a fun month having all the acronyms and kind of figure out what they mean and interpret them into a spiritual meaning. So frog stands for fully on God. And I know that when Bev was here, we did a service time on that. And I'm sure you don't remember what she said because it was so long ago, so I get to say it all over again. My interpretation. What does it mean? How do you or do you fully rely on God? Do you think about what that means? I looked up the meaning of rely, and it means to depend on with trust and confidence, to have faith in someone. So it's not just a simple 4-letter word. It's really an important word that if we can fully rely on this thing we call God and in our lives in every way, then and we have confidence and faith in doing that, then we're going to be a lot smoother in life. So it takes on a real importance when you consider its meaning in your relationship with and to God. This God that we're learning about throughout our lives. We come here on Sunday to church to find out more about how Spirit works in our lives. We have groups to share with, books that we read, and it's all for our learning and our growth so that we get into a clearer understanding about this spiritual divine nature that we're part of and how we can use it to enhance our lives and make things go better. Our teaching tells us that we are co-creators with God. We are God in expression and form. Yet, for me, there seems to be a sense of separation when I say I rely on God. It seems like it's an outside thing. And so we teach that God is within us. But if we accept that belief that we are co-creators, or that we are one with this thing, with this energy, this creative force, we are partners with it. It means that we also rely on this force to bring things together to make our lives work. And of course, our sense of consciousness is always involved, big time, with the story we create. So now I want to share a trashy moment with you that made my day. I mean, it was a simple little thing, but I'm telling you, I was high at the end of it. Are you intrigued? Okay, I was gathering trash to take out to my dumpster, knowing that it was trash day, but I also knew that the dumpster was full. But as I was dragging this big bag, I thought somehow, some way, I would find a place to stuff it in the dumpster, because that day was trash day. And I was walking down my driveway, I saw the dump truck coming up my street. So I thought I'd wait for him, and maybe he'd go ahead and take my trash bag. My mind is over creative, and I'm thinking, okay, should I stand by the dumpster? Should I, if he wasn't there, should I just leave it by the dumpster? And you're supposed to have the lids down. You can't overfill it, and it would have really been overfull. So I'm figuring out all these options of what's going to happen. So I thought when I saw, and it was like perfect timing, the dumpster's coming up the street, yay! And I got this big bag to take down to him. So maybe I could throw it on the back of the truck, and usually they pick up the dumpster and turn it into the truck. Well, I couldn't reach, so I was just trying to figure out how the logistics of it. So I thought maybe I could throw it in, maybe he could get out of the truck and do it for me. Instead, he saw me waiting there with his bag, and he motioned for me to wait till he emptied the dumpster, and then I could put my bag in the dumpster, and he emptied it again, which is what happened. I'm telling you, it was a God moment for me. Simple things.
Lainey, you have a rich and full life.
Everything fell into place. I gathered the trash and was walking down the driveway at just the right time. And the truck was coming up the street as I was this way. I could have just missed him, been too late for the pickup, or had to figure out what to do with the large bag, leave it outside the dumpster, or try to make room in an already full container. Even though I was pondering what and how this story would end, divine right and order was taking place. I wasn't consciously relying on God. I wasn't even thinking about God. I was thinking about it trash bag. But this divine energy that works in perfect order had it covered. My consciousness was in tune, was co-creating with the infinite, had it covered to make it work. Now, I know that trashy moment may seem insignificant, but I'm telling you, and I'm telling you really, I walked up the driveway and back to the house, and Shirley was there, and I was just grinning and just babbling away about how the trash came in the right time and took my trash, and I was so tickled about it. Maybe I should give him a tip the next time for taking my trash. My heart was full of gratitude. My whole body was smiling. I mean, it really. And that truck driver probably didn't realize what mystical moment he was a part of. But more importantly, it reaffirmed my connection and my partnership with the Creator for the universe. It was affirmation that I could fully rely on God. And that little moment can always be a reminder and I know that we all go through those moments of uncertainty or chaos, what's going to happen. And if we step back into that belief that this God force within us and around us is working for us and through us, then things are going to work out the way they should. Sometimes it seems like that's not the way you want it, but once you get through it, it was really the way it should be. So if I'm in the midst of seeming chaos or uncertainty, I just need to remind myself a moment. It happens so perfectly to know that there is divine right action and divine order taking place, and that I can fully rely on God in those small moments and the big moments. You know, the little moments we kind of pay attention to or we take for granted, but when we get a big moment and we can go back to that time when things worked out, that reinforces the energy to make the big moments flow more better. So I want to ask some questions on God, and Susan's going to pass out the questions. I want to read them to you, and then you answer them. These are questions that Anthony Kelson asked us in our class Prosperity, and it was again a moment of perfect timing to help me with my talk that seemed really good.
Will you write it down, or what?
Just listen to me. Just listen.
Okay, we're paying attention.
Okay.
Row three's paying attention.
Questions are designed to uncover hidden thoughts and accompanying feelings which make up our beliefs about God and our relationship to Him or it, however you wish to view God. The purpose is to help us uncover unconscious resentments and beliefs about God that limit us or manifesting the good we desire in our lives. So there's two sides of the paper. On one side is 15 questions, and on the other side there are 11 questions. You will answer questions one of three ways. A stands for always, S means sometimes, and N means never. And at the end of the test, you'll see whether you passed or not.
Are we graded on a curve?
This really was an important thing that Anthony gifted us with class because, you know, we think about God, or we don't think about God, we just live our lives. But if you seriously look at what does it mean, what does God mean to you, what do you feel about God, how do you use this energy in your life, then it gives you some more clarity on how to respond to life. So everybody's got their paper? Okay, the page that has 15 questions. There are times I feel, 1, God doesn't like me or love me. A for always, S for sometimes, N for never. There are times I feel that God is not always on my side. There are times I feel that God is punishing me for something I'm not aware of what I did. There are times I feel that I hate or dislike God and can't bring myself to admit it. There are times that I feel that God is not being fair to me.
My pens
You guys keeping up?
Pens aren't working.
Oh,
So typing, I don't know what we're.
okay. There are times that I feel that God is not being fair to others. There are times I feel that God does not care about me or wants to me. And there are times I feel that God doesn't protect me. There are times I feel that God favors others over myself. We're getting done. There are times that God punishes me more than others and gives others a break for doing worse things than what I have done or would have done. There are times that God withholds his good from me or is fickle about allowing good into my life. There are times that I am angry with God. There are times I feel that God is angry with or disappointed in me. There are times that I feel I've had it with life. I am done with it and all the games. There are times I feel like I want to tell God of it. So have we got all those answers down? Does it open up your mind to pondering about where you are? Okay, the other side. Times I feel that God is on my side. A for always, S for sometimes, and N for never. There are times that God does protect me. There are times that God is fair with me. There are times that God cares for me. There are times that I feel that God does spare and delivers me from suffering or negative events. And there are times that I feel God has and is blessing me. There are times that I feel confident in God and can trust him or her. There are times that God does listen to, hears, or answers me. There are times that God guides me in ways to keep me safe and free from danger or evil. And there are times that God loves me. And there are times I feel that God does forgive me and holds nothing against me whatsoever. Everybody got their answers? So now add up the totals of the A's, the S's, and the N's for either side, for both sides, and see what you get. And that kind of gives you, the answers gives you some areas of your beliefs and feelings for you to explore, to uncover, and resolve. It's important for us to discover and reveal what a relationship with God that is within us is. There is absolutely no separation. And we will come to know that we can fully rely on God, energy that is powerful, loving, healing, creative, abundant, and prosperous, and wise, all intelligence, all knowing for our greater and highest good. So we can just take a few moments if anybody wants to share whether you passed the test or you had, Shirley?
Well, I had 4 S's. That God is punishing for something I'm not aware of what I did. That God is not being fair to me. That God does not care about me, what happens to me. Like I have had it with life, I am done with it, and well, those S's are, I know that I'm down and negative and feeling sorry for myself. So then I have to tell God is for me.
Yeah.
No,
So that's kind of the purpose of this exercise, is to really look at, how you feel about God in your life. And we
know that God is within us, but how can we respond to it? And we're human, and we're here to learn and to grow from our experiences and our challenges. But if we have a clue about how we can work with that, we can shift things to happen so that we make it through the night. You know, I think everybody goes through that dark night of the soul, and if you know there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and you're connected to that, that can make a difference for how things work out for you. And I think your answers could be that today, and tomorrow you could have different kinds of answers. This practice is an ongoing practice, as philosophy is. It's just, it doesn't matter how often you think you got it all. There's times when the universe, you know, hits you up the head with a 2x4, and then you got to start over again. But you don't step back so far as you would when you first started. So this test happened after my trashy day. No, Monday was our class, and Wednesday was trash. And I got all N's for the first side and all A's for the other side. I was really proud of myself because I didn't realize that my studies are paying off, that, you know, being like-minded has an effect, changes things for me. I remember when I first got into science of mind, I would stammer about the word church, you know, because I wasn't a church goer, really. So the more you get into it, the more you practice it, the more you read about it, the more you share about it, the more that can shift your relationship with God, and the more effective your life can be, and the sense of power and control you have about your life. And I told class, I said, even though I get all N's and all A's, I was really happy about that. It doesn't mean sometimes I'm not treading water, because there's times water, you know. But then the trash day happened. And that just really affirmed I am connected, you know, for that little thing. So I do that. You all have those trashy events in your life. And for things to work out the way you want them to, or that you can maintain your faith and your belief and your trust in relying on God fully, so that you know that that thing that rely to depend and have faith and confidence in that something or that someone, that's really a powerful word. And you could make up an affirmation, or we can say together now, I fully rely on God.
I fully rely on God.
You guys said it like you meant it. So thank you. I hope that this brought some insight into, you know, your beliefs about God. And if we think about, you know, the sun comes up and goes down every day, we circle around, the moon comes up seemingly so and goes down every day, there's always divine order. This power of God is something that created and is creating constantly the universe, the stars, the planets, this order, and there is structure to it. There is structure to our lives, even though sometimes we don't realize it. And I'm just finding a blessing in whatever happens. If it didn't work out my way, well, there's a blessing for why it didn't happen. You read many stories about people that miss a plane, and then the plane goes down. I mean, story. So I think sometimes when I've flown, and if I ever missed a plane, I think I've got to watch the news to see if that plane crashed. If you ever see me waiting in the airport and I say I missed my plane and it's your plane, you better rethink about whether you want to get on it or not. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today, and I hope it does give you some insight into your beliefs about God. And just continue on practicing. That's all I can say. That's another important, powerful word that we have to practice, practice, practice. And it doesn't have to be drudgery, you know, like practicing the piano. I did did take piano lessons when I was a teenager. But the only song I remember is, I should forget it now.
Indian war dance or
Indian
something.
war song, Indian war song. I'll take requests, but they all sound like Indian war songs. So I remember that, Cecilia, she kicked me out of class. Anyway, I hope you have a good day. I hope you have trashy moments in your life, and that you appreciate them, and remember that we are one with that divine power, that divine source, that we call God, we call source, we call the universe, whatever you want to call it, George or Bill or Mary, doesn't matter as long as you know what it is, and you know that you are part of that energy and that source, and you can use it how you want to, you can live with it, you can create with it, you can be powerful, you can make choices, and you can make choices again, and it all works out for your highest and your best good. So thank you for playing with me today.
Thank you, ladies.
And now Cecilia again.
To continue with lesson,
Oh, she's got the
I'm
Indian war
inviting
song.
you to have conversation with God. I'm inviting you, please close your eyes if you want. And let's go to your favorite place and thank God for the blessings and all blessings that are coming.
Cecilia. Beautiful. Okay, it's time for our offertory affirmation on the other page. And I just want to share that if you know and you feel this connection to the divine, that's creative, abundant, and prosperous, healthy, whole, if you can feel that when you share your tithe or whatever you want to share, or anything in your life, if you feel that feeling and you know and you claim it, it's yours. You speak it out to the universe, to that law that manifests what we claim. You got to know it. You got to feel it. You know, I think our human nature is we start something. I'm guilty of this. Start practice, start journaling, start writing affirmations or whatever, start claiming, and then I kind of drift off into the sunset. But those times that you know and feel your connection to this creative force in the universe, and you speak it and claim it, and you feel it without hesitation, that's relying on God to provide for you, because that's the purpose, to provide for you what you want in your life, whether it's good health, prosperity, whether it's relationship, career. You can have it. You can have those trashy moments, those little things, and they're really powerful when you know it and you feel it. So we got to practice. But we'll start now with our offertory affirmation. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all those who give and all those who receive. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of the spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And let's add, I know it, I feel it, and I claim it. I know it, I feel it, and I claim it. And now we'll sing, I am so blessed. Just a P.S. Kim and Robert are providing lunch for us today. They're out getting set up, but you can thank them after you eat or before you eat. Okay. Just as a closing and a benediction, let us remember that we always have that God source to go to. There is a higher power, but we are that higher power. And sometimes in our lives, we need something that seemingly is outside of ourselves to get us through the night. My first husband used to say, boo, bras, or Bibles to get you through the night. But you can know, if you know and feel that, you know, I'm in a, as Mary says, a pickle situation. And we can turn within to that God that's within us and hire that creativity. Maybe it gives us a moment to breathe and to carry on through what we need to carry on through to get what we want. So let's just take a moment now. Take in that breath and just know that that's God's breath that you're breathing. That's God's heartbeat that is beating. That power, that creative force, that loving, peaceful force, regardless of any situation, any appearances. At the core of that, there is this peace, this love, understanding, and divine order, and divine right action happening in every one of our lives and in the world. We can add peace for the world by our knowing peace. And we can add love to the world by our being love. That's important. We have that power. We have that creativity. We are connected to that source that is all providing, all knowing, and all good. And just breathe that out. Feel yourself surrounded, hugged, protected by this divine source. Walking with you, got your back. Totally got your back. And remember, there's always that frog available. And together, let's say, ribbit. And now let's have the peace song. And we have our prayer circle afterwards. So if you want to chit chat, you can kind of step outside and pray and do it quietly. Thank you.
Well done. Yeah.
No, my dad, yes, and fashion designer, my dad, they had a women's fashion manufacturing. Yeah. Are you a spiritual leader? Okay, there she is.
I'm right here, I'm right here, I'm stepping in.
You probably lead a prayer.
Lead a prayer?
Of course, we all go.
We can all good, absolutely. We are the prayer that we're putting to go out there. Okay. Yes. So let's start with a word. Give us a word, Emily.
A word?
A word.
Love.
Love.
Thanksgiving.
Optimism.
Peace.
Favorable outcomes.
All right, understanding. All right, let's just all breathe into the words that we have put out into spirit. This is our circle or our called manifestation right here and right now. So, we know that God is all there is. And in that, God listens to our deepest felt desires, all that we have put out. We are all claiming claiming our goodness. We are claiming the aspects of God to work through us to bring about all that our heart truly believes is ours. So as we work on our belief, as we fully rely on God, we know that these prayers shall be answered. Because as we put them into this center, we know that we are heard and we are blessed. And that God is working through us, for us, with us, by working as us. So as we generate these fabulous ideas and we put them out, be it health, be it peace, be it love, be it understanding, be it trashy moments, it's all good. We are claiming our good right here and right now. So we shall just release these words into that divine law of mind. Our mind is in the mind of God. So we know God is